Hello students, good morning. We were studying the chapter The Making of National Movement in India 1870s to 1947, and this is the second part of this chapter. In the previous video we discussed about the emergence of nationalism, what were the causes of nationalism in India, and establishment or the process of the establishment of different associations, establishment of Indian National Congress, moderate period and moderate and extremist leaders in Congress. In this video we'll start with the topic the growth of mass nationalism, and this topic will be started with the First World War. You know that First World War was fought between two big powers, one Axis powers and allies. Between two big powers, the First World War was fought. Britain was in allies, it means in the friend nations, and India was used by the British in the First World War. So during the First World War, what were the new economic and political situations emerged due to the First World War in India? So with the help of these points, we can explain this topic that during the First World War, what were the new economic and political situations? Clear? Economic situations, rise in the prices and inflation. This was the main impact or main scenario of Indian polity and society. Political situation. So all these points are here. First is rise in defense expenditure. Due to the First World War, the British government spent more and more money on getting more facilities and more weapons and for using in the war. So this was the rise in defense expenditure. Clear? That creates the new need of money. Right? So to get money, the government imposed new taxes like income tax, and other taxes also were imposed, and new taxes were introduced, due to which Indian people got burden, economic burden due to these kinds of taxes. So this was income tax was introduced. After that, rise in prices of goods. Common commodities and daily use commodities became very highly cost was there and very costly, and rise in the prices created the new problems for the people. Clear? The people suffered the problem to get even the daily use commodities, and because of the rise in the prices. So this was the next impact, that rise in prices of goods and services. After that, forced recruitment in villages, forced recruitment in rural areas or in villages. This was another impact during the First World War, that forcefully the people from the villages were recruited in the army. They were caught and they were recruited in army for the war. Clear? So the people were not happy with this, and beside it, beggar practice and forced labor was in practice. And one positive impact was there of the First World War in India, that was for industries, because jute bags, shoes and the commodities used in the railways, so these things were required and new demands were created. So due to which Indian industries got the opportunities, because the British industries were busy in supplying the goods for the war. So this gave the opportunity to the Indian industries to be raised up and to grow. So Indian industries got the chance to grow during the First World War. Now let's come to the next topic. Now we'll study about the advent of Mahatma Gandhi. You know that Mahatma Gandhi was a very great leader and freedom fighter who played very crucial and important role, the major role in the national movement in India. Mahatma Gandhi came back from South Africa in 1915 when he was of 46 years old. From South Africa. In the beginning, he visited in different villages across northern India and central India and some of the regions of South India. In the beginning, he was in favor of British government, but later he came to know about the problems of the peasants and workers and other people. He became very sad towards the British policies, and then he started satyagrahas. Champaran, Champaran Satyagrah. After that, Kheda Satyagrah and Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad Mill Workers Satyagrah. Mill Workers Satyagrah. Satyagrah means Satya plus Agrah. It means emphasize on the truth, staying on the truth to fight against injustice, right? With the help of non-violence. It means non-violence was the main weapon used by Mahatma Gandhi in his satyagrahas. Clear? So Champaran Satyagraha was 1617. It is also known as Peasants Satyagraha against the repressive policy of the British, Lagan revenue system, etc. Kheda Satyagraha. Kheda Satyagraha, it was the movement in Kheda against the repressive revenue system. It was the peasant satyagraha, it was the plantation satyagraha, also known as plantation. It was known as plantation satyagraha in Champaran, and this is known as, it is also in 1917 actually. 1917. In 1917 in Kheda, it was led by Mahatma Gandhi. In Kheda, it is known as Peasant Satyagraha against the repressive revenue system, and Ahmedabad Mill Workers Satyagraha in 1918. Mahatma Gandhi led this satyagraha in the mill workers when the workers were exploited by the mill owners. So then, raising the demands of the workers, Mahatma Gandhi started the satyagraha. All these satyagrahas were successfully held by Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi became very famous leader, and as the leader of mass, or as Masiha, he was known as Masiha. After that, the next topic is the Rowlatt Satyagraha. You know, Rowlatt Act, you have listened about Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act was passed in March 1919 by the Legislative Council of the British. This act was against the Indians. Clear? Why? According to this act, any Indian could be arrested without any kind of trial, could be kept in the jail for 2 years. Could be kept in the jail for 2 years. 2 years. So it was very humiliating act for Indians. It was very insulting for Indians. So the Indian National Congress leaders called it Black Act. The Rowlatt Act was known as Black Act. It was called Black Act, right? So Rowlatt Act was very insulting and humiliating act for Indians. Mahatma Gandhi, when he listened about this act, Mahatma Gandhi opposed this act, and he declared all India strike. All India strike on 6th April 1919. On 6th April 1919, he declared all India strike. Clear? So in Amritsar during this strike on 10th April, 2 popular leaders were arrested by the British police at that time. Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu. These 2 leaders were arrested, and against this arrestation the people came on the roads and opposed against the British repressive policy. On 12th April, British government imposed martial law in Punjab, martial. And on 13th April, when the different people were opposing the British policies against the Rowlatt Act, and they wanted to release Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, they gathered in the Jallianwala Bagh. Where? Jallianwala Bagh. Jallianwala Bagh. Jallianwala Bagh is situated in Amritsar. Amritsar, right? So 15 to 20,000 people gathered there. On that day, Baisakhi fair also was there. So many people came to enjoy the Baisakhi fair. But without any kind of warning, General Dyer came there with full police force, and without any warning, he ordered for firing on the innocent crowd. In this firing, 10 minutes firing, one exit point was there that was closed by the police, and in this 10 minutes firing, more than 1000 people died and more than 3000 people wounded. So this incident is known as Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 13th April 1919. So Mahatma Gandhi became very sad and upset after this incident, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and he decided that a big movement should be started against the British. So I hope that you understood both of the topics. So now let's discuss the next topic. So dear students, next topic is Khilafat agitation and non-cooperation movement. And the next one, people's initiatives. We'll discuss two more topics in this video. Khilafat agitation. First of all, we have to see the situation after the Rowlatt Act. After the Rowlatt Act, most of the leaders of Indian National Congress were not happy with the British policies. Many leaders opposed and condemned this kind of incident done by the British. Rabindranath Tagore renounced his title of knighthood after this incident, expressing the pain and anger to the British government. So after that, Khilafat agitation, you know that before the First World War, 1914, the British wanted to get the support of Indians. Muslims did not want to fight for the British against the Turkey Sultan. Turkey was ruled by Sultan, and Sultan of Turkey was Khalifa, means temporal or the Guru or Dharm Guru of all the Muslims in the world. So Khalifa was the leader of Turkey. He was the Sultan of Turkey. After that, the British promised Muslims that they would not make any kind of harm to Turkey. But after the First World War, they imposed harsh treaty on Turkey, and Khalifa was insulted. So Muslims opposed this policy of the British, and they started Khilafat movement or Khilafat agitation to protect the temporal powers of Khalifa. And to help them in Khilafat movement, Mahatma Gandhi got the opportunity to unite Hindus and Muslims. Mahatma Gandhi got this opportunity to unite Hindus and Muslims at one platform in the struggle against the British. So Mahatma Gandhi planned for the movement that is known as non-cooperation movement. Why did Mahatma Gandhi adopt the policy of non-cooperation? Because he wrote a book in 1909 that was Hind Swaraj. Hind Swaraj. In this book, Mahatma Gandhi explained that when British came here as traders only, they could do the trade with the help of the Indians. They got the political power only with the help of the Indians. And they are ruling India with the help of Indians, with the cooperation of Indians. Then Mahatma Gandhi said that if we stop to cooperate them, within 1 year their rule would be collapsed. So he adopted the policy of non-cooperation. So this was the policy of non-cooperation. Mahatma Gandhi started this movement, non-cooperation movement, to unite Hindus and Muslims at one stage. And after that, due to the repressive policy of the British, as we have studied about Rowlatt Act, as we have studied about Jallianwala Bagh massacre, then Mahatma Gandhi declared in December 1920 Nagpur session, Nagpur Congress session, December 1920, he declared the beginning of the non-cooperation movement. So this was the non-cooperation movement that was based on Swadeshi and boycott. It means the Swadeshi goods and things should be used. Those things are made in India. They should be used, made by the people of India. They should be used. And the things and goods which came from other countries like Britain, foreign goods and clothes were bonfired, they were boycotted. So these were the policies of non-cooperation movement. So what were the policies? Swadeshi and boycott movement. In boycott means boycott everything, not to cooperate the government, not to cooperate the British. Clear? So this was the policy of non-cooperation. Students and teachers left their schools and colleges, government schools and colleges. Lawyers like C.R. Das, like Rajgopalachari and Motilal Nehru and Asif Ali. So these kinds of people left their practices in the courts because they were very famous lawyers. And in the same way, peasants stopped to give the revenue to the British. Clear? Women picketed the liquor shops. So in different regions of India, the people participated in this movement, in the non-cooperation movement against the British. The impact was there that in comparison of 1920 to 21, the foreign goods, import of foreign goods became half of the total as earlier in 1920 used to be there. So it means 50% declination in the import of foreign goods and clothes was recorded at that time. The next topic is people's initiatives. So let's discuss about this topic. So the next topic is people's initiatives. As we have studied that Khilafat agitation was very important, started by Ali brothers. Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali both started this movement with the help of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi supported Khilafat movement and he started non-cooperation movement to support Khilafat agitation. People's initiatives. Peoples in different areas of India participated in this movement, non-cooperation movement, like Kheda in Gujarat, Sindh at present Pakistan, right? Sindh, and in south also, and in other parts like Punjab. In Sindh, Muslims, peasants participated in Khilafat movement. In Kheda, peasants participated in non-cooperation movement. In Punjab, Akali Sikhs agitated against the British policies. In the same way, in different regions of the country, peoples participated in the non-cooperation movement. We can divide the participation of the people into four parts, like in the countryside. In countryside, peasants and farmers, artisans, etc. participated in this movement, like in Awadh region, especially in Awadh region. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Baba Ramchandra Sannyasi in Awadh region established Awadh Kisan Sabha in October 1920. So this was the participation in the countryside, it means in the villages. Peasants and farmers stopped to give the revenue to the British government. They wanted to get rid from the Begar practice, Zamindars and Talukdars, right? So their movement was specially against the Zamindars and Talukdars. Next, in towns, middle class people participated in the towns, as we have discussed about the Swadeshi and boycott movement. In the towns, students, teachers, lawyers and middle class people participated against the British policies. After that, tribal areas of Gudem Hills in Andhra Pradesh participated. The tribal people participated in this movement against the Forest Act. Mahatma Gandhi became as Masiha for them, right? And in tea plantations, the plantation workers participated in this movement. Assam, they raised the slogans Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai because of Inland Immigration Act 1859. The workers were not allowed to go outside of the plantations. So the plantation workers were not happy with this act. They wanted to get rid. They did not want to work more in the plantations. They wanted to go back to their homes and wanted to cultivate their lands. So when they listened about the non-cooperation movement, they listened that Mahatma Gandhi would provide them land again to cultivate. Then they started to join this movement and they started to run away from the tea plantations. But due to the railway strikes, they were caught and beaten and taken back to the plantations. So these means kinds of people participated in the non-cooperation movement. So dear students, in this video we have discussed these topics. I hope that you understood all these topics. In the next video we will study the rest of the topics of this chapter.